Guys, so I picked up a nifty new gadget here that I ended up liking a lot, so I figured I'd let you guys know about it. I got here is the Ryobi 1 Plus 18 volt 1 gallon air compressor. It runs off their 1 Plus batteries, 18 volt batteries. This thing's pretty nifty. It only weighs 14 pounds, so you can pretty much take it anywhere. You know, there's the box. It's let's see, model number is P739. So, but pretty nifty little unit that we have here. It's got a nice little carry handle, your tank gauge, your outlet gauge. Right here on the side it even says most portable at 14 pounds. Doesn't even feel like it's that heavy, but I guess it is. Runs off their 18 volt batteries. It says here it recommends 4 milliamp hour battery or higher. I ran it off a 3 earlier and I didn't notice a huge difference between the 4 and the 3. You guys will see that later in the video. I took it out, did a little testing on it. So let's get out to that video now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it a little more. Alright guys, I really wanted to put this compressor to the test here because it's actually amazed me quite a bit recently. I've had it for about 3 days now, and I've been messing with it. But I've got a E450 here, and I was curious if this thing had the power to take a lug nut off, and how many lug nuts I could do on it before it was too dead to give me any more power. I got a 1/2 inch Ingersoll impact here, so let's give it a shot. See how many we can get off here. I have a feeling it'll get at least one. Let's go for it. Well, there's one. Hasn't kicked on yet. There's 2. It just kicked on. There's 3, and it's starting to lose power. There's 4. Still at 80 pounds on the compressor. There's 5. And alright, that's it. So I got 5 lug nuts. Granted, I did put a little bit of penetrating oil on these, and they did seem to only be torqued to about 120 foot-pounds. That's pretty good for this little air compressor. Let's let it build back up a little bit and see what happens. We get this last one off. And there it goes. Got the hub off, the locking ring here. And this little thing builds back up quick. Sorry if you can't hear me, but it's actually not that loud off camera. Let's see, I'm already at 90 PSI. It fills up real quick. This is the same battery I've had in it for 2 days now. And I've already used it to fill up 2 tires, one of these big tires. And I just used it to take these lugs off. When it shuts off here, we'll see how much battery power I have left. I do have it set to 120 pounds. And it's off. And I still have half a battery on a 4 milliamp hour battery. So I've filled up 2 tires and just taken 1 tire off and still have half a battery. That's not too bad if you've got 3 or 4 batteries. Alright guys, so here's what I got. On about a half a battery, so that's a 4 amp hour battery, on about half a battery, I got all 8 lug nuts taken off. I got this tire filled up from 0 psi to 75 psi, and this is a 225/75 R16. And then I got that tire filled up from about 40 psi to 75 psi on about half a battery. So I don't think that's too bad for a little air compressor. So I kind of cut to the end there. I didn't show you me filling up both tires all the way, because then this would have been a long video. But from 0 to 75 and from about 40 to 75 took me about 10 minutes. So that's not too bad. It's a hell of a lot better than those little portable air compressors that just plug into your cigarette lighter. Let's keep going on some of this stuff here. Alright, so what did we learn here today on this one? I took it out, I did some testing with it. That bus I was working on, I put air in all 6 tires. One tire was 0 psi, took it to 75. 3 of them were at about 40 psi, took it to 75. And one of them was at about 20 psi, took it to 75. And I did all that on about 1.5 batteries. That was a 3 milliamp hour battery and a 4 milliamp hour battery. About 3.5 batteries. And you see me run the impact on it in the video. So I ran the impact on it for that little bit there. And it ran that pretty good. I also put my air hammer on it to see how it would run with that. And it ran the air hammer for about 20-30 real good hits, and then it petered off. So, I mean, not that I'm going to be using this for like heavy maintenance work or anything. I bought it more or less to take camping with me. I thought it'd be great for all kinds of stuff. I mean, if you're going to air down your tires to go off-road, you can top them back off with this. It's really quiet. You're not going to bother people in the campground next to you, campsite next to you. Or it's also great to have around for if you do want to use some basic air tools. Like I said, it did run my impact. It took 5 lug nuts off before it needed to, before it got too weak and needed to recharge. It would run a nail gun great. Maybe a spray gun it would run pretty good. But mainly I just think it's good for just keeping in our camper, and that's why I got it. Put air in tires and stuff. So for what it's designed for, I think it'll work great. Because I have a ton of the Ryobi batteries, and it'll do good. Like I said, that bus, those are big tires on that bus. I think they were 225, 75, 16s, I think is what they were. So that's a pretty big tire. That's the same size tires I've got on my truck that I haul my camper with. And I filled up 6 of them on about a battery and a half, plus ran the air gun, so let's call it 1 battery. I topped off 6 tires. I think that's pretty good. So that's kind of my final thoughts on this thing. It would be great for camping. You know, blowing your tent out at the end of the day, or blowing your camper out at the end of the camping trip to get that done. But for $129 is what I paid for it, and that was just for the compressor. They have some better deals I've seen. I just missed a deal where they had it for $89, and it came with a hose and a nail gun. And they have another deal, I think it's $189, but it comes with a battery, a charger, a nail gun, and a hose. But for $129, it's a lot cheaper than putting an air unit in my Jeep or in my truck. So, an auxiliary air unit. So, I mean, all I ended up doing is I went out and I picked this up at Home Depot with it, just a 20-foot curly hose here, and an air chuck for it, just to keep with it, keep everything nice and tidy and small, keep in the camper or the truck. So that's kind of my final thoughts on it. I would say it's 95% capable of any other air compressor that I've used, mini air compressor I've used. I think the only fault that I found with it is it's only a 1 gallon, so it does run out, it does peter out pretty quick for a lot of things. But it builds pressure right back up. I think from like 30 to 120 psi, it only takes 45 seconds. So it recharges pretty quick. And it's not that loud. Like I said, I'll turn it on again one more time for you. And now I can easily talk over this and hold a conversation with somebody. It's really not that bad. So that's kind of my final thoughts on the Ryobi 18-volt cordless air compressor. I almost called it an air conditioner. Air compressor. If you like that, like, subscribe, comment. I'd appreciate it. If you have any more questions about it, go ahead and hit me up. You guys have a great day. Thank you.